Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sideline. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Tiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4. And for Miami, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslem in at the 4 shot.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it. And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. Swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, we're seconds away from another championship banner.
Right now we're going to go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. What'd you find out, Doris?
I asked him about how his team was going to handle the veterans of the Spurs, and he said there really isn't a whole lot that Duncan and them haven't seen, so you can't surprise them one way or another. Really, it comes down to us being as careful with the ball as they are and being efficient in our possessions. Sounds simple enough, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Doris. And that one's good. Parker. Well, getting back to the Spurs, they look better and better as they went deeper into the playoffs, Clark. Heat were thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had experience and talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
Now here's Green after the miss from Chalmers, and Green gets it to go. Here's Wade. He kicks it to Haslem from about 19 feet. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. The Spurs have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far.
One thing I think that's helped extend Tim Duncan's peak effectiveness, he was dealing with knee issues recently, but he committed to losing weight and slimmed down by over 25 pounds to take away some of that wear and tear on his joints. And, over the last couple of seasons, it certainly seems to have revitalized him.
Wade. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Gets it to go. Green's got 6 points.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over it.
And Clark, you mentioned Duncan slimming down. Steve, I guess he did it swimming in the offseason.
Well, he was a swimmer growing up in the Virgin Islands.
Right.
That was his first sport before he picked up basketball. And I think you can see how it's impacted his strength and his ability to engage that core and really last through these long NBA seasons. He's slimmed down, but he's stayed strong. And I think swimming has played a big role there.
Here's Parker after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. And Parker, here we go. Elbow shot. And it's Miami with the rebound. He dishes it to Chalmers. Nice shot from the wing.
Yeah, something that makes him hard to defend is his ability to receive a pass and get off an accurate shot in one quick, fluid motion. So you better beware of where he is on the floor at all times.
One of the premier catch-and-shoot guys in the league, Steve. There's no question about it. He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
No, that's for sure, because this guy's too good of a shooter to miss that look consistently. But the defense just looked a little lazy on the glass there.
Yeah, nobody boxing out. That's inexcusable.
Back to LeBron. Leonard with the steal. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And Green slams it in. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Spurs.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle. Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Miami shooting their first free throws of this game.
Well, they were 75% free throw shooting a season ago.
And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
1:36 left here in the first quarter. Ginobili gets to Leonard, hammers the alley-oop through.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
And the basket by Chalmers. Chalmers has got his second basket. 1:12 left to play in the first.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
Now here's Duncan. 6 on the shot clock. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy. And that's when they're going to come up big for him.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, Battier coming in here as a stretch four. They've just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs. And a missed opportunity right there.
Definitely. I think he should have converted that one.
To the middle, tries to save it, and that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. On defense, the Heat. They trail by 6. Leonard attacking, and it's blocked. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Norris Cole, he's checked in for Mario Chalmers. There's 25 seconds left to play in the first quarter. That shot wide open.
Perfect inbounds pass and an easy 2 points.
LeBron outside. This one for three. Gets the bucket. Nine seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Parker kicks to Ginobili. 1 second left. Battier with the steal. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. It's San Antonio. They lead by 5. And we'll get things. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
I was impressed with their transition game, guys. They really got out and ran the lanes.
Yeah, they did. I mean, no better way to get easy buckets than through fast breaks. If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow, just like he got there.
The Heat have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Tim Duncan was offended after last year's finals when reporters asked if he'd consider retiring. He said, "I can't believe you're asking that question. It's been 5, 6 years you're saying we're too old." And guys, it's true. This is a team that's been written off season after season, and they find a way to keep their window open. Coach Greg Popovich said, quote, "Vacation is overrated. You can only grow so many tomatoes and read so many books." Guys, until they say they're done, you never count them out.
Doris, the Spurs win percentage over the Duncan era, the best of any team in NBA history over a 15-year span. I'd have to agree with you. The Spurs making a switch here. Bonner's checked in. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. In that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined.
And Ray Allen gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Dishes it to Dion. Back to Parker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. LeBron with the block. One-on-one fast break. Takes the 13-footer, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. And now it's a 3-point Heat lead. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Heat.
Boy, great hustle defensively through 2 quarters of play, contesting everything, starting to rack up those block shots, guys.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
The dive for the ball.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size. Oh, get it! Watch out now! And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Parker kicks to Bellinelli. Back to Parker. All alone. And it's LeBron James with the rebound.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom of that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
Spurs trail by 8. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And Diaw kicks to Bellinelli. And again, unable to change momentum here. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
And really deep three that time. Cole's got 6.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Here's Bellinelli, defended by Allen. And Bellinelli kicks to Ginobili. He passes to Diaw. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
While not as dominant on defense as they were a year before, the Heat still were tough at that end of the court. The thing is, you could see them turn it on and turn it off when they needed to defensively, so they always managed to get the key stop when they needed it.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hi, guys. Well, LeBron James' game is so well-rounded, you might forget that he led the league in scoring back in 2008. He said, I've done that before. I'm capable of doing it, but that's not my job here. My job is to do a lot of everything, rebounding, passing, and defending. Guys, his versatility and completeness as a basketball player is what makes him so incredible to watch.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, special talent. And when you're coming off a title like the Heat are, there is a natural tendency to cruise. But, Clark, you said this, and Steve, I'm sure you want to comment on it. They could turn it up in a hurry.
Well, it's just so much athleticism on this team that if they want to pressure you in the half court, they usually can force turnovers, and if not, they can also sit back and play a more straight-up defensive style and be very effective that way as well.
It's stolen by Allen. Here's Battier. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Battier's got 7 points in the game.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
Double team on Parker. Bellinelli. Back to Parker. Spurs working the ball around now. Diaw drills the three-pointer. Diaw's got his second basket of the game.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
That's good. And the Heat lead by 15. We've got 22 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Got a piece of it. Here's Cole and Parker with the block. "12 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Back to Green. And there's the pass to Diaw. And the three off target. And so that's the end of the first half. Heat lead by 15.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's halftime on 2K Sports.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen.
An excellent game we've seen from LeBron. He's got 14 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping for him. He's got 3 of them.
Well, as long as he's continuing to make them, I think they should make him more of a focal point of this offense. He is feeling it. A terrific percentage from the field.
Spurs trail by 17. Parker with it. Now guarded by Mario Chalmers. And Green gets it to go.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical. Wade seems to be slowing down just a touch, and the difficulty as you get older, when you're not a great jump shooter, which Wade is not, is that the defenses will back off you. And that's the big challenge now for Dwayne Wade, adjusting to that newer style of defense that he's going to be looking at.
And San Antonio shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Leonard dishes to Parker. Not loose. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Wasted no time on that one. Chalmers has got 6 points. And Steve, you go back to the strong output for Dwayne Wade last season for the 4th time. In his career, he averaged over 20 points and 5 rebounds and 5 assists a game. Clark, one of only 4 players in the league last season to hit that mark.
And Kevin, he led all shooting guards in player efficiency rating for the 5th consecutive season. Some might argue, but the numbers speak truth. He's the best shooting guard in the game.
Parker drives in, rejected by Haslett.
And they've been off target now on 3 of the first 4 shots they've taken in this second half. He's not the most flashy point guard out there, and you don't hear his name when people talk about the best point guards in the game, but I think Parker is one of the best in the business when it comes right down to it. He's able to do so many things out there for you, and just had a dominant season for the Spurs a year ago.
Steve, Parker's fearlessness going to the hoop is what makes him such a devastating player in crunch time. Often you'll see him go right into a bigger guy, take the contact, and still find a way to finish the play. The Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Oh, man, they are just putting a hammer down right now.
Defensively and offensively. It has all been working for them today.